Hello guys, I'm Ming. Some of you might know me as Kev. So I'm back again in Chertsey and I've got another real test route for you today. So this particular test route was used on one of my pupils a couple of weeks ago at about 11:01 in the morning. I think that was the time of his test. So I'm just going to run through that test route with you. So come along for the ride and yeah, you can see a real test route and see exactly where my pupil went on that particular day. Okay, so coming up to the roundabout here, I'm just going to be turning right at this particular roundabout, checking my middle and right mirrors, right signal. Let's give way to this Honda Jazz coming from the right hand side. So I've not started the test route right at the test centre because obviously it's a weekday and it's going to cause problems if I go to the test centre because it's a very busy car park. So I've just started slightly up the road from the test centre, but yeah, just about half a minute away really, so you're still going to get the whole test route. Just coming up to another roundabout here, so I'm just going to be turning right at this particular roundabout, taking the third exit, which is signposted for Weybridge. Just going to line myself up the right lane, check my middle and right mirrors, get my right signal on, slow the car down a little bit, look to the right hand side to see if there's anyone coming. When it's safe, off we go. Going past the first, going past the second exit, check mirrors, signal left. I'm going to be going straight at the traffic lights here. There's two lanes to go straight here, so make sure you follow the correct lane. The left one turns left and the right lane goes straight ahead. And I'm going to be going straight ahead at the next set of traffic lights as well, so straight on at the next set of traffic lights. There's a roundabout coming up. I'm going to be going straight on at the roundabout, so it'll be the second exit. It's a very small roundabout, so there's no need to signal on this particular roundabout. You can just follow it straight on second exit without any signals. So like I said before, this particular test route was used on my student about a couple of weeks ago at 11:01 in the morning. That was the time of his test. It's now just gone past 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so the traffic's going to be a little bit more heavy, I reckon, around this time of day. Let's just stop here for this man to cross the road at the pedestrian crossing. Just after this pedestrian crossing there is another mini roundabout, so I'll be going straight on at that particular roundabout, taking the second exit. So, like I said, just straight on at this roundabout, taking the second exit. Check to my right hand side. There's nobody I need to give way to, so I can carry on safely. Just looking up the road, I can see another pedestrian crossing. That man might press the button. He stopped at the crossing, but he didn't press the button, so the lights were unlikely to change. As I'm going through this test route, obviously I'll be giving some commentary driving on the way. It will just help you understand what it is that I'm doing and help you guys with your hazard perception as well. Checking my middle and right mirrors here before I move out onto the other side of the road, going past these parked cars. At the traffic lights I'm going to be turning right, so right at the traffic lights. It's signposted for Weybridge. Now there are two lanes turning right at the traffic lights. So ordinarily you would choose the left lane because the left lane is the one that you would use for normal driving. So that's why I've chosen the left lane instead of the right lane. Lights have just gone green, so check my mirrors, make sure it's safe before we carry on. The left lane leads me straight into the left lane here on this dual carriageway. Okay, we're also going straight on at the next set of traffic lights here as well, so straight on at the next set of traffic lights. There's another set of traffic lights here. We'll be going straight on these set of traffic lights as well. after this set of traffic lights, there's a roundabout. At the roundabout, we're taking the exit towards Weybridge. So it's actually the second exit on this particular roundabout. We're going to be starting off in the left lane. Checking to my right hand side, safe to go. Use the left lane following round the roundabout. After the first exit, check your mirrors, signal left, and then exit the roundabout. It's a 40 road, so I'm going to build up my speed. So if you're in your driving test, obviously if you're driving too slow, you might get faults for undue hesitation. As it's a 40 road, I'm now driving at 40 miles an hour, as it's safe to do so, so I'm making the correct progress on this current road. Right, so in a moment I'll be turning right, taking the third exit at the next roundabout. It will be signposted for Addleston, so turning right, third exit, signposted Addleston. Right, I can see the roundabout now, just ahead of me. Just before the roundabout there is a set of traffic lights. So the traffic lights, I believe, is a pedestrian crossing. So let's have a look to see if anyone's pressed the button. Doesn't look like there are any pedestrians around at the moment. I'll be checking my middle and right mirrors, giving the right signal. 2 lanes here, follow the right lane as I'm turning right. Check to the right hand side, make sure it's safe before I enter the roundabout. Going past the first, now the second exit, checking my middle and left mirrors. Signal left, exit the roundabout. Back into a 30 zone here. At the next roundabout on this particular test route, you'll be required to go towards Addleston, which is following the road ahead. Slightly to my left, just going to check my mirrors and give a left signal here. No one coming the other way, okay, so I can exit the roundabout. There is a level crossing on this particular test route in Addleston. As you can see, the lights are red at the moment. Sometimes they do stay red for quite some time. I was here actually earlier today and the traffic was horrendous. It went from the level crossing all the way back to the roundabout off the main road where I just turned in from. So sometimes it can cause quite a bit of traffic. Anyway, so I guess we'll just be sitting here until the traffic lights, the red lights go off and the barriers go up. Right then guys, so the traffic lights have gone off, the barriers have just come up, time to go. Just to keep clear road markings on the road here, I'm just going to keep that section clear. Just waiting for the van in front of me to move along. He's moved along, left me a little bit of a gap so I can get across there safely. Right, just coming up to the level crossing now. Hopefully the the lights won't go red and the barriers won't come back down again. With level crossing guys, it's important to keep the track clear of course, because if you stop your car on top of the tracks, it would be very dangerous if the barriers came back down. So just make sure the vehicle in front clears the tracks before you go across. Okay, so this next part of this particular test route is a little bit strange because the examiner is going to ask you to turn right in a moment. So it'll be your next road on the right hand side. Don't turn into these roads immediately on your right just after the level crossing because that's no entry. So you've got to go up another say 10-15 meters before you see the road that you're supposed to turn into. It's just after the zebra crossing. Just going to check my mirrors now, middle and right. Signal right, let people know that I want to turn into that road. Make sure there's no one waiting to cross at the zebra crossing as well. Okay, so what happens here is you just follow the road as it bends around to the right hand side. Not too sure why they've included this road in the test route, to be honest. Maybe they're trying to catch people out to see if they want to turn into the no entry part of the road, but a little bit pointless really, because all you're doing is going round in a circle and then you just end up back on the same place, in the same place where you just came from. So I'll be turning right again at the end of the road. Can be a busy road this one, so you've got to be reasonably careful, good observations when you're coming out of this road. The right side's clear. Just going to ease out a little bit, see if anyone on the left wants to give way to me. This Mini does. Thank you very much, Mini driver. So after that road that I've just come out from, you'll be required to take the road on the left. Okay, so checking the mirrors, left signal. See, the road on the right was where we went just now. We've just done a little circle and came back again. So now we're going over the speed bump, the zebra crossing. I'm going to be turning into this road on the left hand side. Okay, and then we're going to be taking the next road on the right, so checking my middle and right mirrors. Right signal, slow the car down. It's quite a tight turn, back into first gear, looking ahead, into the road, turning into the road without cutting the corner. Checking all three mirrors, carry on. It's quite a narrow road, this one. Often there are parked cars on your right hand side, so just be careful. Cars coming the other way, even though the obstruction's on their side of the road, they might not stop, so don't be in a rush when you're going down this road. Just get all your calculations correct, make sure you don't do anything wrong. So we've got a mini roundabout coming up. We're going to be going straight on here, straight on at the mini roundabout. Slowing down as I approach the junction. Going to slip it into first gear, give myself a couple of extra seconds just to look to my right hand side. There's no one coming out of that road, so we can nip across safely. At the traffic lights, we're going to be turning right, so right at the traffic lights. It is a crossroad junction, so we'll be turning right at the crossroads. Now this particular crossroad junction, there isn't a lot of space, to be honest, so the likelihood is that you're going to be doing the near side to near side method of turning. That's usually how people tackle this particular crossroad junction, near side to near side. I have seen people do offside to offside before. It is possible to do so, but the most common one is going to be near side to near side. We'll see what happens when the lights go green. Crockford Park Road, that's the road we're on at the moment, and we'll be turning right onto Brighton Road. And ahead of us is a road called Liberty Lane, according to my satellite navigation screen here. Okay, lights are green, into first gear, handbrake down, check middle and right mirrors, right signal on. Right, let's see what happens then. Yep, they go near side to near side, so I'm just going to ease out into the road slowly. Okay, safe to get across there. Let's carry on with the rest of the test route. Alright, so we've got another crossroad junction here. This time we're going to be going straight on. So straight on at the crossroad junction, and it'll be signposted here towards Chertsey. Chertsey M25 and the M3. Two lanes here, obviously. The right lane's turning right. The left lane is to be used for turning left or to go straight at this particular junction. Okay, lights are green, so off we go. Okay, so just ahead of me I can see a mini roundabout and a giveaway sign. So obviously I'll be checking my mirrors before I slow down. Checking to my right hand side. Or anyone coming from ahead wanting to turn to their right hand side. Looks pretty safe, so we can get across here. Another roundabout, we're going to be going straight on here as well, so let's just decrease our speed a little bit. Have a little look to the right. There's no one there, so again it's safe to carry on going. Now this particular road leads up to a rather large roundabout. At the next roundabout we're going to be going straight ahead. It's going to be the second exit, and I believe it's signposted for Chertsey, so straight on, second exit, signposted Chertsey. To do so, what you need to do is you need to start off in the middle lane, because the left lane turns left only. So I can see the sign here, I can see the second exit, yep, it is signposted Chertsey, and I know the left lane is to turn left only, so I'm going to line myself up with the second lane along, which is the middle lane. Some examiners might advise you to do so, some won't, some might let you just figure it out for yourself. Okay, so this man shouldn't have pulled out on me really, but he did. Right, we're going to be taking the next road on the left hand side, so checking my middle and left mirrors, left signal. It's a bit of a sharp turn, so I'm going to slow the car right down, pop it into first gear, make sure I turn around the bend nice and slowly, looking ahead, no immediate hazards. There is some roadworks here, so it's made the road a little bit narrow on the left, from the left to the right. Quite a few parked cars here, so just look out for any car doors opening or cars moving off or people walking out from in between parked cars. Checking middle and right mirrors here before I move out for this parked car. This car's got his left signal on, so it doesn't look like he's going to go anywhere. Right, so again this is just another strange part of the driving test. It's just driving through a little housing estate really. You're just going to go around in a circle and come back onto that main road where we just turned off from. Perhaps the examiner might get you to do a manoeuvre or something down here if you haven't already done one. But other than that, you're just driving around in a circle really. There's not too many hazards on this particular road, apart from the parked cars and a few twists and bends. You can imagine maybe a tricky meeting traffic scenario coming up if a car came from the other way, but other than that it's a pretty quiet road. So anyway, we're coming back onto the main road now. We're going to be turning left onto the main road. So I'll be checking my middle and left mirrors, signal to the left hand side. Just wait for this Toyota RAV4 to move onto the road before I move up. Right, so to my right hand side, I don't know if you can see in the camera shot there, but there are two lanes coming towards me. They're both clear, so turn out. I'm going to be joining the left lane, and we're going to be following the road ahead at the traffic lights. Check my mirrors before we slow down for the red light. So we're going straight on at these set of traffic lights here. So my lane goes straight. The lane on my right hand side here goes straight as well, and then both lanes merge together on the other side. So you've got to be a little bit careful when the lights change green. Just keep keeping an eye on my right mirror. The car beside me hasn't moved at all really, so they've left me plenty of room. And yeah, so we can merge safely. You do get a lot of aggressive drivers who move off and try and speed past you when the section of road gets really narrow. So watch out for those kind of silly drivers. Sign on my left just warning me about a zebra crossing. Just going to slow the car down a little bit, make sure there's no pedestrians around. There's a junction on the left and the right as well, so I want to make sure there's no cars emerging out of those junctions. Taking the next road on the left hand side, so checking my middle and left mirrors, signal left, slow the car down back into first gear. Got to wait for the car in front of me to turn into the road on the right here before I can move up. It's quite a narrow road, just making sure I enter properly. Parked car on the parked van on the left, just making sure I can see past that van before I proceed with my journey. Checking all the necessary mirrors to make sure it's safe before I weave in and out of those parked vehicles. Van coming towards me has just pulled up on their right, on my left, so it's safe to carry on. When I get to the end of the road, I'll be following the road ahead. Bit of a strange junction here. This road just leads onto the main road. I've got a give way sign and give way road markings, which means I've got to give way to what's happening on this main road. Just going to slow the car down, take a good look to my right. There's a van coming. I'll give way to him. The next car along is quite far away, so there's time for me to move out onto the main road. So in a moment there'll be a mini roundabout. We're going to be going straight ahead, taking the second exit at the mini roundabout. So the mini roundabout isn't positioned so that you can go in a straight line. You have to steer around to the left quite a bit actually, so make sure you're going at a nice speed so you can control the steering. Great big parts lorry here. I think he's stopped here to pick up something or make a delivery, so everyone's just slowed down to make sure it's safe before carrying on. Alright, so this road will lead you onto a dual carriageway. So you have your own private lane, if you like, joining the dual carriageway, so you don't actually have to stop, you don't have to signal. Yeah, so you just kind of use your own lane. You've got your own lane and you just join the dual carriageway. I'll show you what I mean in a moment when we get a little bit closer. Got all the signs here telling you there's a dual carriageway and a left turn, so the road just naturally bends around to the left hand side, and there you go. Okay, so at the next roundabout we're going to be turning left, taking the very first exit, so left first exit at the roundabout. Check my mirrors, middle and left, put on the left signal. Very sunny now. It's my right hand side, looks safe to go. Exit the roundabout. So at the next roundabout I'm going to be turning right, taking the third exit, signposted for Woking. There are 2 lanes here on approach to this particular roundabout, so I'm going to make sure I'm in the right lane. Check middle and right mirrors, right signal on, slow the car down, signal just cancelled, put it back on again, safe to go. Go past the first and the second exit, check mirrors, left signal, exit the roundabout. Right, so we're almost back at the test centre now. The next roundabout I'll be taking a left turn. Check middle and left mirrors, left signal. 2 lanes here, make sure I end up in the left lane, it's quite hard to see because of the sunlight. Checking to my right hand side, nobody coming. So if I was to drive down the road about half a minute, I'd come back to the driving test centre, but I'm not actually going to go there because it's going to be busy and there'll be some real driving tests going on, so I don't want to interrupt anyone's driving test. So instead I'm going to park down this road, and yeah, this is where the video comes to an end. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, it really does help. So thanks a lot, see you on the next video guys.